I think it would be best to have me bring them in. I'll name them, have them come in by their name, and then we'll give them applause collectively. That'll speed us up a little bit. First one, Dave Menhart. Todd Clark. Me.
Mike Ellis.
Paul Menhart. Tammy Hyde. Matt Harvey. Jim Hall. Ed Harvey. Donna Sullivan. Matt McGinnis. Peter Hoops. Michael Menhart. George Hall. Gerald Browning. Andy Curtis. Rashad Carter. And Michael Hall. Jared Browning. The hand. Beautiful. Go ahead and take your seats. Beautiful. Ready for the national anthem? All right, just like a ball game, we're going to have the national anthem. So if everybody would rise. And we should keep in mind today our veterans, because of Veterans Day tomorrow. I would like all the Fitch alumni to rise, stand up. We're going to sing our alma mater, and I know you all remember it from heart by heart. But if you don't, we're going to put it up on the screen.
I mean, once it gets to the pictures out there, I'm gonna have to be on the screen, right? So I could just like stay right here.
That's hard to do. Sing along with Mitch.
And we have Mark coming up, correct?
And what?
And Mark's coming up from Mono. Mono City's doing
Not
his.
yet. Not yet.
Okay.
This is our 10th anniversary. Personally, I can't believe that 10 years have gone by since we started this. Each induction for me is a wonderful experience. The feeling of the Groton community is strong in this room. This is truly a Fitch High reunion. Athletes and their families across the decades come together to celebrate. The feeling in this room, and it was today also, is electric. The excitement, the pride, the memories. I love this event. The person who has made this possible and deserves the credit is Bernie Nasser. He organized our committee. He presides over our committee. Our committee is made up of special people. They believe in Fitch High School, and they believe in honoring our Fitch standouts. I'd like Bernie to come up right now and say a few things.
This isn't part of my speech, is it?
Yes. Not your acceptance.
No, it's another speech. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm just busted. I'm not that senile yet.
I am. That's why I said it.
Okay, first thing I'd like to do is welcome all of you. This is an awesome turnout. You don't know how pleased I am to see it. Like Mike said, we brought this thing together 11 years ago because we had that stupid year when none of us could do anything. So this is actually our 10th anniversary. It makes me really happy to see this. Friends from all walks of life, from all sports, from all over the country are here, and it's all about Fitch. At this time, I want to introduce the committee, most of whom have been on this committee since the start. Some we picked up along the way, but nevertheless, they are all here. Everyone here on the committee is a Fitch graduate except Mark Romano, Al Restivo, and myself. Okay, everybody else is a Fitch graduate. Okay, obviously I'm the chairman, I'm me, okay? Al Restivo, where's Al? Over here. Glenn Graham, 76, class of 76. Sue Beeman Griggs, class of 80. Mark Romano, our athletic director. You went to St. Bernard's? New London? All right. Well, then you're in the wrong place. Hall Brothers, get rid of him. Miles Hollowell, 1952 graduate. Mike Ellis, Walter Blanker, Rich Costa, back there. Larry Rock Croxton. Peter the Hoops. The Hoops. Dave Russell. Robin Williams Doyle, where she's over there. Lori Moyer Zaneski. Donna Sullivan. Heidi Durr Hallisey. Calvin McCoy Jr. And a young lady who was an original member of this committee, but because of grandchildren and all that good stuff like I have here and some of the rest of you do, she took a step away. But she still is responsible for all of the table settings, all of the stuff that you're going to eat off, all that stuff. Diane Craig Kadama. Okay, one of the pleasures I have when I get all of the inductees and all the current year inductees, I send out a group email to all of the former inductees. And I always get some pretty neat responses, and if you give me a minute, I'd like to share a couple of them with you. The first guy to get back to me is a 1950 Fitch graduate. Okay, he was a professional golfer after he left here. Mr. Bob Ross, class of 50. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame. Thanks for giving me information, and congratulations on being sold out. That's amazing. I'm so proud of being a member of the Fitch High School Hall of Fame, and pleased to tell you that I was also inducted into the New Jersey State Golf Association Hall of Fame in June of 2024. It all started in Groton, Connecticut. My congratulations to all honorees. Bob Ross, professional golfer, class of 1950. We have, I believe Glenn has pictures. Bob played golf with Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus back in the day. And he's a Fitch guy, and he's still playing at night. I think he's, 92? So he's a heck of a guy, and he always comes back with neat stuff. Besides that, he owns horses. Next email I got was from Anthony Wilson. Coach, this is awesome to hear. This class of 2024 is one of the best. Amby Burfoot, world-renowned runner, Fitch graduate, Boston Marathon guy. Bernie, congratulations on the committee your persistence and great success in this program. Proud of you. Dottie Dorothy Richardson Martin. And it's interesting, her last name is Martin, and Lori Lizaneski picked up on this. Dottie was married to Cool in the Gang guy, Martin. Her reply was, cool. And I got a big one text yesterday while we were sitting up here from the big hoss, George Roberts. Coach, go get him tomorrow. Congratulations, Bernie, on your induction. We as students salute you and the committee. Stay strong. George Roberts. It's always a pleasure to get information like that and feedback from people, especially these older guys. Man, I couldn't remember if I was born in 1950. Okay? One other point I wanted to make up, the number of family members who are now in the hall. And I'm not going to go through everybody, but the Latham board and family lead with 5. Yeah, there's the father of those 4 kids right there, and his cousin's the other one. Your mothers were sisters. Your mother...
Billy's, my mother's sister.
Yeah, they were sisters, right. Ellis's, 3 members in. Menhardt's, 3 members in. Carter's, Raheem, Rashad, and their Uncle Elbert, 3 members of the family. Oscar Hall, Jimmy Hall, and Teddy Hall, who Oscar's going in today, 3 members of the family. Then the other Hall, because I just introduced George to the other Halls. We got George Hall, Michael Hall, and Mark Hall, 3 members of the family. So like George Hall Sr. said, that Hall is a good name. So we're good with that. Right. Now, we have a first, though, of inductions this year. I mean, you see we have brothers, we have fathers, Mike's father and mother in, we had sons that. This year is the first year we have a father-daughter induction with Ed and Jessica Harvey and Todd and Allie Clark. Again, I welcome you all. It's a tremendous pleasure to be up here, and it's been a tremendous pleasure to put this together. Thank you.
I want Mark Romano to come up and announce our scholarship winners.
Wow, full house here. Congratulations first off to the 2024 Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame recipients. Congratulations. So I'm here to announce this past year's scholarship award winners, Gianni Drab and Gabriella Amaral. Johnny Drab was a standout athlete, captaining both football and golf teams. He played a pivotal role in the success of the football program, earning all-state honors as an offensive and defensive lineman. Johnny's leadership was extended beyond the field, as he was also heavily involved in the Fitch robotics program. In recognition of his academic and athletic achievements, he was named the Male CIAC Scholar Athlete of the Year for Fitch High School. Johnny currently attends Northeastern University, where he's studying mechanical engineering. Unfortunately, he's unable to attend today, and I'll tell you why in a second. So here, I'm going to read his acceptance email that he had sent me. He says, "Dear Fitch High School Hall of Fame Scholarship Committee, I want to thank you again for selecting me as a recipient of the Fitch High School Hall of Fame Scholarship. This helps me towards my tuition at Northeastern University. I apologize I'm unable to attend the ceremony today, but the Northeastern University Aerospace Club moved their rocket launch date to today. I'm working hard toward my mechanical engineering degree. I can't even say it. He's so smart. It's a New London education. Sorry about that. Set on my goal to contribute to our nation's space exploration efforts. I'll never forget Fitch High School, and so grateful for all the support I've received from students, staff, coaches, and that will help guide me through my career. Sincerely, Johnny Drab." Our next recipient is Gabriella Amaral. Gabriella. Gabby played both girls soccer and softball during her time here at Fitch High School. She played an integral role in the development of the girls soccer program under new Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame inductee Allie Clark, and also found great success on the softball field under Fitch Hall of Famer Jackie Lewis. Gabby's dedication and hard work in both sports helped elevate their programs. She currently attends Endicott College, where she is pursuing a nursing degree. Please welcome Gabby Amaral.
I would like to thank everyone that was involved in giving me this incredible scholarship. I would like to thank Mr. Romano for all of his hard work and support for Fitch Athletics. I'd also like to thank my coaches, Jackie Lewis and Allie Clark, for supporting me and pushing me to become a great athlete. It truly means the world to be a part of this wonderful community.
We are incredibly proud of both Gianni and Gabby's accomplishments on and off the field, and we look forward to seeing all they have to achieve in the future. There's also one special announcement I'd like to make today for all those who haven't heard. A few weeks back, I made 2 phone calls along with our principal, Matt Brown, and Mike Porter. The first was to Ed Harvey to let him know that Groton Board of Education approved naming the baseball field in his honor, in his name. The second phone call I had to make was to Mike Ellis to let him know that the Groton Board of Ed also named the gymnasium at Fitch High School in his name. So congratulations. I'll be coordinating both ceremonies in the near future, and I'll be sending out information when we do so. And I would also like to thank Kurt Vincente, Matt McGinnis, Craig Ashmore, and Mike Porter for all their help in making this happen as well. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm not scheduled to say anything here, but I have to because 2 of my dear friends were supposed to be here today, and unfortunately I got a text from one, and then we got a text from Lori about the other one. Charlie Miller took sick this morning to the point where he's in the emergency room down in Branford. Charlie was supposed to be here. He coached and taught in Groton forever, and he's a dear friend of mine. Unfortunately, the last I heard, he thought it was food poisoning, but he said he was in such pain he couldn't make any judgment until they came in. The other one is Keith Hall. Came all the way from Kansas. He was a captain of my wrestling team and district state champion in '75. We were all out together last night having dinner at Par 4. Keith is, any further word? Keith also this morning got up with serious pains. He's in the emergency room in L&M, and they believe he might have had a heart attack. So at this time, I want you to bow your head and say a short prayer for Keith and Charlie. Thank you very much. Two great guys.
Time to eat. We've got a buffet-style meal. It's beautiful. Par 4 puts it on for us. They've also volunteered to tap your table when it's time to come up, so we're all not standing there for a long time. So, it's time to eat. Okay, we'd like to get started, folks. If you find your way to your seat, we'd like to get started. Hi, how are you?
How's it going?
Good to see you.
You too. It's good to see you. I'll use the restroom before this starts.
Charlie's got diverticulitis.
Oh my God. Wow. If you find your way to your seats, we'll get started, folks. I'd like to thank Par 4 for the food for today. Give me a hand. I want to thank them now because they might be going by the end of the ceremony. We're going to start now. I'm going to read bios. We've got 16 people going into the hall today. I'm going to read their bios. After I read the bio, I want the person that is accepting or the person who's getting the award to come to the podium. After they accept their award, they're to go and pick up their things that we have for them, this treasure trove. We've got a plaque, they get a shirt, they get a copy of the bio that I'm going to read that's suitable to be framed, and a Fitch High School historic book signed by the author, James Streeter. Then after that, they're going to get their picture taken with our president, Bernie Nasser. First up, Paul Oscar Hall Jr., class of 1966. Oscar played football, basketball, and ran track, earning 7 varsity letters over his 3 years. For the football team, he played defensive end, offensive end, and running back. He was also a dangerous kickoff returner, running one back for 83 yards against Weaver High School. But his top sport was track and field. He ran the 100, the 220, the 440 sprints, and was also a member of the 4x4 40 relay team. From his sophomore year to his senior year, he was undefeated in the 440 in all dual meets. Oscar set the school record in this event and broke it the next year in a winning performance in the state open meet. His time of 49.6 is still the school record. And this record, when converted to the present day fully automatic timing meters, his time is 49.54. Still the fastest time in Fitch track history. And in fact, it is the oldest track record in Fitch High School track history. In his junior year, the Fitch coaching staff voted him as one of 7 of the best athletes in the school. And in his senior year, they voted him as one of the best 5 athletes in the school. After high school, Oscar served in the Air Force for 3 years. You can see he's in his uniform there in the picture. His jobs after the service were for Visconti's Cleaners and Tailors, Harwood, and he was a chemical operator at Pfizer for 10 years. Oscar married Rosemary Beckwith in 1968. They had 3 sons, Philip, Christopher, Paul Oscar III, and a daughter, Candy. Oscar passed away at the terribly young age of 32 after a short illness. Both of his brothers are in the Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame. Jimmy, my teammate, in the class of 2016, and Teddy in the class of 2021. With talent to spare. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Paul Oscar Hall, Jr. Receiving the award is his daughter, Candy Hall Hawkins. Did you know all that?
Thank you. Thank you, guys, and congratulations to all the other inductees. As you know, my dad's not here. He would be truly honored. He'd be truly honored to be here. I'm so sorry. I didn't think I would get choked up. It's just amazing that his record still stands. I don't know, just thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
I know that means a lot to her. Kevin McMahon, class of 1971. Kevin was a fullback for the football team and played baseball. As a senior, he was the team's most valuable player and co-captain, first team All-CDC, All-Area Norwich Bulletin, All-State Honorable Mention, and was selected to play in the Nutmeg Bowl. He was also All-CDC football as a junior. Kevin was the baseball captain and was named to the CDC second team All-Conference as a senior. He was Fitch Athlete of the Year in 1971. Kevin attended Central Connecticut State College, Mitchell College, and Southern Connecticut State College, majoring in health education, special education, school counseling, and school psychology. He was a Dean's List student at Mitchell and Southern, and at Southern he received the Outstanding Health Education Major Award. Kevin has worked as a radiology control for Electric Boat, as a canoe guide for emotionally disturbed teens, a mountain guide in New Hampshire, a safety engineer at EB, a recreational therapist, a behavioral therapist at Lawrence Memorial Hospital, and was a school psychologist for 30 years. He is a Justice of the Peace, a member of the Elks Club, and a Special Olympics and Unified Sports coach. He received the Community Service Award from the Waterford Country School and a Certificate of Bravery, National Award of Merit, signed by President Reagan for saving a child's life. He resides in Eastern Point section of Groton with Kathy Wilson. He is presently traveling the world as Saxophone Santa. A lifetime dedicated to the betterment of others. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Kevin McMoose McMahon. Come on, McMoose, pull your way through that. Any of us? Yeah, there's some of us are.
Thank you, Mike. I'm honored. I'm really honored. When I was a kid, let me back up and say, tomorrow's Veterans Day. For all our veterans, please raise your hand. And thank you. Thank you, veterans. Thank you for your time, your sacrifice. We appreciate it. Happy Veterans Day. My friends, 40 years ago, Gary Minetti, Jim Belisle, and Carl Kemper, all stars in their own right, we started a hiking club. And for 40 years, we've been hiking, kayaking, mountain biking, and we've stuck together for 40 years. I have to pay them. They don't want to be with me, but that's the way it is. My sweetheart, Kathy Wilson, who is a star from Fitch, too, she deserves a lot of credit, and her mother, Betsy, and my sister, Mary Ellen, who went to St. Bernard's. So please forgive her for that. But when I was a kid, my father took me up to the Fitch games, and he said, "Someday you're going to be a Fitch Falcon." That happened. And when I had a good year in 9th grade, baseball and football, while at Westside, because Fitch was 3 years then. And St. Bernard's came knocking at my door. And it was Paul Crotty, assistant coach, offered me a scholarship to St. Bernard's. I said, no, I'm not going to St. Bernard's. My brother and sister did, and that's fine. I said, I'm going to Fitch. And I'm going to be a Fitch Falcon, and I still am.
Richard Ricky Thompson, class of 1975. Ricky was the first wrestler in the school's history to score points in the state wrestling tournament by taking 4th place in the 167-pound class. He was the first recipient of Fitch's Outstanding Wrestling of the Year award. He held the school record for the fastest fall pin with a time of 19 seconds. He placed second in the CIAC sectionals and was a 2-time CDC All-Star. Ricky tore his ACL in his winning final match. This injury ended participation in any future athletic endeavors. Rick has spent his entire career as a writer and illustrator for major corporations. He designed and created the AST Quick Reference Guide, a 400-page technical reference for all AST computer products. For 2 years, it was shipped to corporate and service contractors at the rate of 200 copies a month. During his career as a writer and illustrator, he designed, wrote, and illustrated over 3,500 computer-related user manuals. At UTC and General Electric, he created a library of over 600,000 images for company-wide use, and for Nissan, he designed and wrote their corporate standard guides. Rick retired at 55 years old and has spent 20 years selling commissioned paintings. For the past several years, he has donated dozens of large paintings to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund charity auction. All of his paintings have been sold. Rick lives in Huntington Beach, California with his wife Jennifer. They have 2 children, Brad and Rachel. Successful at whatever he does. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Hall of Famer, Richard Thompson. Accepting for Rich is going to be Kelly Hall, his assistant coach in high school.
Ricky, what a guy. I'm honored to be here as a substitute and slightly saddened because I'm here as a substitute for Keith Hall. So I'm here to help honor Ricky. I got to say, Ricky was one heck of a wrestler. He's one heck of an athlete. He's one heck of an artist, and he's a great friend as well. Ricky, believe it or not, had a serious neck injury, which left him with both his hands unusable. So what he did was he had his wife tape a paintbrush to his foot, and he did some paintings using only his right foot as his hand, and he did some great stuff. He did some terrific stuff just using his foot, better than most people I know could do with their hands. So anyway, I'm here to read a letter from Ricky. Ricky was always very short-spoken. You know, if he were here today, he'd probably stand up and say thank you and sit down. But he's a little more long-winded than that at this time. So first off, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame Induction Committee for this great honor. I am truly honored and humbled by this. I am sorry that I could not be here in person. I would also personally like to express my gratitude to Bernie Nasser. Without his influence, I would not be the person that I am. Attending and wrestling for Fitch changed my life. Those experiences instilled in me a confidence that I have carried with me and allowed me to pursue all of my dreams. Thank you again. Go Falcons. Rick Thompson.
Good answer.
Kelly was my assistant coach, and we both grew up in Pennsylvania.
Joseph Vincente, class of 1976. Joe played basketball and baseball for all 3 years and led us 3 times in each sport. He was named the basketball captain in his senior year and was the leading scorer that year. Averaging just under 20 points per game and making 95% of his free throws, and was crowned the area's free throw champion by the Norwich Bulletin during their annual Southeastern Connecticut High School senior free throw shooting contest. Joe made over 60 consecutive free throws. He was also the captain of the baseball team, played center field, and was known for his strong and accurate throws. He batted .350 for his career. He was named All-Conference and in London Day All-Area. Joe was named the MVP in both baseball and basketball in his senior year. At Fitch, he was a member of the yearbook and newspaper staffs, the F Club, the Foreign Language Club, and a member of the National Honor Society. Joe attended UConn Avery Point after high school, where he majored in sociology. He played both basketball and baseball for the Pointers, and then went on to the main campus in Storrs and played baseball. He participated in the 1979 College World Series. In 2002, Joe was inducted into the UConn Avery Point Athletic Hall of Fame. Joe was a youth counselor for 20 years. He is presently working at Water's Edge Resort. He lives in Deep River, Connecticut with his wife Amy, and they have 3 children, Joe, Leah, and Chloe. A major contributor to everything he does. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Joe Vincente.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank, first of all, Bernie and Mike and the rest of the committee, I know quite a few of them, for having me here today. I appreciate the effort that it takes to put together this special afternoon for us. I was very happy also to hear that Bernie will also be inducted with this class of 2024. His dedication and commitment to the Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame and involvement as a teacher and coach all these years surely show how deserving you really are, Bernie. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me today. They all know I'm a quiet person. It's not my thing doing speeches. But my brother, Kurt, he's the one who nominated me, so I wouldn't even be standing here if it wasn't for him. And of course, you couldn't ask for a better brother. He does everything for us. He's the glue to our family now that our parents are gone. And like I said, I couldn't ask for a better brother. My wife, Amy, is here. She's my best friend. Excuse me. My biggest supporter. She's a kind and generous person. And I wouldn't want anyone else as my lifetime partner. My son Joe is here. He came up, he made the trip from New York. He has far exceeded any expectations a dad could have for a son. He represented the United States 3 times in the World Karate Championships. He's already an assistant principal down in New York City. He's a 5th-degree black belt, and the list goes on. My oldest daughter, Leah, is here. And all she's done is brought into the family 3 of the most beautiful grandkids. She's an excellent mom and wife, and she's my hairstylist, and as you can see by the picture, I really needed one. My daughter, Chloe, she's my youngest. She couldn't be here today. She lives in Virginia. But she's in journalism. She's a news anchor, and she's an award-winning investigative reporter. I couldn't ask for a better family. I would like to congratulate all the other inductees. I'm in awe of all the academic and athletic achievements, and I can see that you're all pretty amazing people as well. I'm honored and proud to stand by your side today as inductees in the class of 2024. I'd like to thank all my teachers and coaches for their guidance and help throughout my time at Fitch High School. I appreciate the hand they had in helping me, a shy kid, be successful in academics and become a good athlete. And most importantly, I hope, a good person as well. I'd like to thank all my teammates. I got a couple here over there at that Eddie and LJ. We had some amazing times together. They're all great friends, and I really value the time we had together. It's also great to see so many familiar faces after so many years. It's been some 50 years for me. It pays tribute to our school's spirit that you all remain involved here at Fitch. And what that says to me, and I've always felt it right here, once you're a Fitch Falcon, you're always a Fitch Falcon. So once again, I'm, believe it or not, excited and honored and proud to be a part of the Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2024. Thank you.
Mike, we're gonna do McCoy, right?
That's next. All right, we're going to change the order because Johnny has to catch a plane. So we're going to do his bio now. John McCoy, class of 2000. John played football, basketball, and baseball. He is the second four-year letterman in the Fitch football history, playing running back for most of his career. He scored 45 touchdowns. This is the third highest in the school's history. A three-sport captain, he was the football team's MVP twice and the baseball team's MVP once. In his senior year, the day named him Player of the Year, and he was named to both the New Haven Register and the Hartford Courant All-State teams. On the baseball team, he hit 11 career home runs and was named All-Area and All-Conference twice and held a school record for the most career home runs. For the basketball team, he received the Coaches Award his senior year. John was the Fitch Athletic Booster Club Male Athlete of the Year in 2000. John attended the University of New Hampshire after high school and majored in psychology. At UNH, he played football for all 4 years and was the captain in his senior year. That team was ranked number 1 in the nation and were the top seed in the FCS tournament. His career statistics were 2,500 yards rushing, 21 touchdowns, and an average of 5 yards per carry. John belonged to the Athletes in Action organization. John is an ordained minister and has been involved in nonprofit food pantries as a youth pastor, a hospital chaplain, and a hospice chaplain. He is presently on active duty in the United States Navy, where he is a lieutenant in the Chaplain Corps. His in-country address is Hampton Roads, Virginia, where he resides with his wife, Jessie. They have 3 children, JJ, Justice, and Jasper. The ultimate role model. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, John Anthony McCoy.
Thank you so much. 06340. Forever. I tell people all the time, where are you from? I said, I'm from the submarine capital. If you know, you know, right? Those of us in this room, we know. I'm so proud to be from Groton. I'm so proud to be a part of this group of awardees. So many awesome people. I've had some cool moments just being a little kid, remembering my brother who's on the committee, being a little kid on the sideline and playing on the sideline, waiting for my turn, wanting to wear the Falcon uniform. And to finally get a chance to do that, and just wanted to make a name for myself, but more importantly, whatever I did was to contribute to the team's success. So whatever accolade I received, it was all about the team. It was cool and an honor to be able to help our teams win and bring a state championship to the school and all of those things. So I'm just thankful. So you just see the foundations and the levels and the layers that you start off playing, these pipe dreams as a little kid. Rashad's here, one of my best friends, and we said when we were younger, we hope to one day, there's a movie, The Little Giants, we hope to one day see our name on the water tower. And so we were little kids. Some of you know what I'm talking about. It's a cool moment for myself, and so for Rashad and for Raheem, who's not with us, to also to share that in the halls. And so many of my teammates are here today. I'm thankful, I'm honored, and so I've only known teams since I was a little boy here in Groton, and now I still serve on America's team in the United States Navy, and I'm proud to do so. I'm proud to be with you. Thank you so much.
Let me flip the pages here. I may read you twice, Johnny. I don't know what's going to happen.
Don't make me run around.
Edward Ed Kilnaski, class of 1976. Ed participated in football, basketball, and tennis. He earned his letter 3 times in tennis, twice in both football and basketball. As a receiver on the football team, he was known for his soft hands. He had 10 receptions in a game against Weaver High School and was named All-CDC and All-Area twice in football. In tennis, he won the CDC tournament as a junior and was ranked 13th in the state as a senior. When Fitch left the CDC during his senior year, he was denied the chance to be all-conference that year. Ed attended American Legion Boys State and was a member of the National Honor Society. He won the Sons of the American Revolution Award his senior year. After high school, Ed attended New Hampshire University, where he majored in physical education and minored in marine biology. At New Hampshire, Ed played tennis for all 4 years and played number 4 singles and number 3 doubles. Ed taught elementary physical education in Waterford for 35 years, retiring in 2018. He began his coaching career at St. Bernard's, where his girls' tennis team won a state championship in 1980 and shared the title in 1981. He then went to coach tennis and basketball at Ledyard High School for a year. While his children were growing up in Mystic, Ed turned his attention to coaching them and their friends in youth sports, including soccer, basketball, softball, baseball, and tennis. He helped Wayne Clark coach Fitch girls soccer, helped Matt Brown coach boys tennis at Fitch, and later helped his son Tim coach boys tennis at St. Bernard's. Ed was the head coach of the Waterford High School tennis team for 9 years. He helped his sister Paula coach varsity girls basketball at Stonington High School as a volunteer, and now helps his wife Diane coach the Fitch girls field hockey team at Fitch, a program she started 16 years ago. Diane and Ed live in Mystic. They have 3 children, Eddie, Timmy, and Katie, and they are very proud of their 4 grandchildren, Charlie, Celia, Lucy, and Remy. The ultimate volunteer. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Edward Kolnaski.
First of all, I'm just happy that I got a little worried when my picture went off for a short time. That okay, somebody got me on this one. Also, honestly, it's been awesome coming here and seeing everybody. It brings, I mean, I vote for everybody else. It brings back memories like instantaneously. You know, even the fact that Peter Hoops heckled me when I'm walking into the dinner line here or whatever. Okay, I was like, well, that's the way it's always been. But I just want to say honestly to the committee, first of all, it's a total honor, and I was humbled. I know when, like, The Rock called, well, Larry, they know he called you The Rock, right? Yeah, he's The Rock. And just that when he called, it was just like a feeling that I haven't, never even thought would ever come kind of stuff, never even thought about it. And then Bernie came to call to tell me about that it was official. It felt unbelievable. I mean, honestly, humbled. Just because of all the people that I saw that when I went and saw the plaque and everybody on there and some of the people today. I mean, there's a Harvey going in today, there's, where's Sue Beeman, who I know kind of thing, and just other people. And where's Kevin McMahon? Where's Kevin? And Kevin McMahon, who I idolized growing up, okay? I would follow him. My father would always talk about him. Actually, he would talk about Kevin, Ed Harvey, and then the late Artie Sawyer. Okay, and that they would like the 3 best athletes they've ever seen. So to be in a group with that and going in with somebody like Kevin is just like an unbelievable honor. Just also, what's that? Yep. Oh, Mr. K. Well, yeah, he was he was a teacher at Westside. Yeah, and oh, thanks, Kevin. Yeah. Years ago, we went to my father's induction with my kids and stuff to his high school, and his high school. He got a Hall of Fame in his high school, and to have this happen here with some of my kids here. I have a grandson at home waiting to go jump in the leaves again when we get back. But I just do want to say thank you to a lot of people. First of all, my coaches, like from Mr. Weiss to Mr. Marion to Mr. Brown. I was lucky. I had awesome ones and assistant coaches through those years. And the memories, just like I said, ever since it was brought up, it comes back. Because I've been living here for so long, whatever, Saturday football games. And I know Well, they did a Saturday one, but not for good reasons, right? Yeah, yes, yeah. And Mark, I didn't know Mark was from New London. I mean, went to New London. All that I've been working with, and he said he graduated from New London. First time he told me this, and I've been working with him for like 20. I know, you should. Yeah. Anyways, but like, the basketball courts, we were in the old gym where it was wild in there. I mean, those, it was crazy. And since Joey's here, okay, Joey Vincenti was like the smoothest basketball player I've ever seen, okay? And me and LJ, we had a good shots on the bench to watch him play, I'll tell you, yeah. He was a very good player, but a great guy too. So I was so psyched to go in with Joey same year, so that's for you. Anyways, all right, just a couple of shout outs to my brother-in-law, Wayne Clark, who got me into the coaching part into high school. And it was kind of one of those things where I think it was a Thursday before the Saturday the season was going to start with girls soccer. And he calls me and he goes, their coach decided not to do it, and he has to go do it. And he says, he wants me to help. And I said, Wayne, I've coached like rec soccer. He goes, no, you got to help. And I said, I don't think I can. He goes, and my son Tim, and he goes, your son Tim's in my history class this year. And he goes, yeah, that's what I was. I was like, so? And he goes, well, you want him to go to UNH? I said, well, this could be a big one. And so that's what started me with Wayne. But he turned around the program really well. Took few years like that. But I actually looked it up. It was 9-7 in the last year, Wayne. Yeah. So anyway, a little shout to my brother-in-law, Wayne, there. Anyways, other things just real quick. All this stuff led to me where like I'm so psyched to be part of Fitch in all these years, to the point where, which this guy never saw it coming, that he would be coaching with his wife at field hockey, okay? Who, honestly, and I know she's saying she's going to get mad, but she's turned into one of the best coaches I've ever seen. Okay, don't shake your head, okay? All right? But honestly, she's done a great job here, okay? And last, I have to thank LJ, who, like one of my best friends forever, who nominated me. This is the second time he's done something like this. The first, he called me about being a godfather to his firstborn, Harrison, okay? And I remember asking him the same thing. I asked him when I found out about the nomination, are you sure? Kind of thing. And that time I just asked him, does he have no relatives that are Catholic? So anyways, so that was a special feeling. And then when I've got this here, okay, and being nominated for the Hall of Fame, it's just, I can't thank everybody enough. It's just an honor, and that's about it. Okay, thank you so much, Sarah.
Sue Beeman Griggs, class of 1980. Sue competed in tennis, basketball, and softball. She was the captain of both the softball and tennis teams in her senior year. As a leadoff hitter, she held softball records in at-bats, hits, singles, doubles, and total bases. She earned all-conference, all-area, and all-state honors in softball. She was on the inaugural Connecticut High School All-State softball team. After high school, Sue attended Mattituck Community College, where she played softball. She batted third and held the second highest team batting average. The team qualified for the World Series, and they won the Big 8 Conference. Sue was named an all-conference, all-regional player. Sue finished her college career at the University of Missouri, finishing with a major in human services. After college, Sue continued to play softball on a semi-professional team from Waterbury. She coached Little League softball, was chosen to be an all-star team coach, and also coached the traveling Pony League softball team for 8 years. Sue served as a safety officer for Little League, and she is the treasurer of the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee, our committee. Sue lives in Gales Ferry with her husband Brian. They have 3 children, Nicholas, Jennifer, and Bridget, and 2 grandchildren, Braden and Amaya. Dedicated to her community. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Sue Beeman Griggs.
a little short. Huh? Sorry, I'm shorter than anybody else here. I'd like to congratulate all the nominees this year. They're amazing people, amazing athletes. I'd like to thank my family, my father that used to bring me to the tennis courts every day down at it was a Pfizer tennis course, I think. Now I think it's a golf course, right? Yeah. And my mother that used to drive me everywhere to all the games. Probably fed half of the athletic people here, or, right? Or I just came into the house and she would feed you, so it didn't really matter. My sister, who graduated from Fitch, who played sports way before they were even actually varsity sports. She thinks she graduated when actually Title IX actually happened, 1972. My brother's playing the first soccer team at Fitch High School. Yeah. Right. And my brother Billy used to hit balls to me for hours on my backhand and used to tease me for hours, telling me all these things, so I would get madder and madder at him and throw the ball harder and harder. And I'm sure I was hurting his hand after a while, but he would admit it. But anyway, I did get my backhand finally. Okay. And then I know we all had one of these people, or men or women, that sat on the sidelines for all the time and said, hey, you're doing really good, or you need to get your bat up, or you need to run faster. And I remember 3 specific men that did this. Mr. Flatley, Mr. Santinello, and Mr. Borden. They actually knew exactly what they were saying, and they helped me out a real lot on the sidelines. They never coached me once, but it was definitely great. Of course, my teammates, there's a couple that are back there right now, Tammy and Joanne and Robin. Amazing athletes. I played with some amazing women that played. There was probably quite a few already that were in the Hall of Fame. Alice Hunter, Tammy Hyde, Donna Sullivan, and Lori Blanton. That's the people I played with. Amazing, amazing teammates. I had some great coaches. Him over there. Maybe. Terry Casey, tennis coach, coached this little bit of softball. Amazing woman, definitely a person way before her time. Just didn't get enough credit, I don't think, ever, that woman. Mark Spencer, I still have nightmares doing wind sprints. I think we did not hit our hand on the ground. We had to start all over again. I still recall that. And of course, Bernie Nasser, who was my softball coach, who was amazing, just supported us with everything. Made us go to college, just was a great guy. Now we just work on the horses. Bad advice sometimes good, but it's okay. Okay. And I said, congratulations to the people I got nominated today. It was amazing to be part of that group. I have a lot of neighbors and relatives and family people that are here. Played in probably LJ's family semi-baseball team. Used to play in that yard forever. And the Knopski's great family, very proud. All right. And thank you. It's a pleasure being a Fitch athlete. Oh, and Landry. Oh, my other big guy. Thank you.
Christopher Peeler, class of 1985. Chris played football and baseball and was named co-captain of these sports in his senior year. As the team's quarterback, he earned the team MVP award and was named to the Norwich Bulletin All-Area team. He was a gifted football option quarterback. In baseball, he batted .417 for his junior and senior year, and he was selected to the All-State baseball team as a pitcher. While at Fitch, Chris was a member of the athletic varsity club. He served as its president in his senior year. He served in the school senior executive council. He was a member of the National Honor Society, attended American Legion, Boy State, and won the Spanish Department Award, the American Revolution Award, and the CAS CIAC Scholar Athlete Award. Chris attended Boston College, majoring in accounting. He was the starting pitcher for the baseball team for 4 years. He received the Francis McCrean Award for carrying the highest GPA on the baseball team. Chris played American Legion Baseball for New London. This team was the state and Northeast regional champions in 1985 and 1986, and played in the American Legion World Series in 85 and 86. He played in the Norwich City League and was in 1987 selected Rookie of the Year. He continued his baseball career playing at the Boston Park League, America's oldest men's amateur baseball league. In 1988, he was an all-star pitcher. He coached the team from 1992 to 1999. Chris spent his early career as a CPA in Boston. He's held leadership positions in finance, operations, and strategy in the insurance industry for the last 24 years. He is currently the Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer at Utica National Insurance Group. He lives in the suburban Atlanta in Duluth City with his partner, Cindy. He has 3 adult children, Spencer, Skylar, and Sylvie. Motivated and motivating. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Chris Pila. McMoose didn't clear a pathway.
Thanks for that introduction, Coach Ellis, and thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for including me in this class of 2024. I'm a keeper of things. I like to look back at memories from the past, and I particularly like sports memorabilia. So when Coach Nasser called this summer to share the good news about my induction into the Hall of Fame, the timing was perfect because I had been packing up boxes of memorabilia in anticipation of a move later this year. And so it was this perfect opportunity to take a long look back at a favorite time in my life. So how many of us can say that I got to play alongside both of my brothers at every level from Little League through high school? Yeah, the men hearts can, but that's okay. So we got to play for some coaches who were students of the game and teachers of the game. We mastered fundamentals, we mastered mechanics. We always practiced like professionals because that's what was expected of us. And I didn't have a full appreciation for that teaching and that learning until I went to college and played for a former major leaguer who had a coaching philosophy of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But he and I didn't always see eye to eye on what was broken and what was working just fine, and so I had to fix myself a lot. So I got to play over 300 games over 4 seasons for an American Legion coach who taught us all about competitive strategy and how to tap into the unique strengths of every teammate on the field. And that was those are lessons that I've carried with me for 35 years as a business leader. Absolutely. Everyone in my family is a varsity letter winner. My brothers Bo and David and my sister Suzanne have multiple sport letters here at Fitch. My mom has a varsity letter in cheerleading from here in Fitch back in the day. And my dad was a 2-sport athlete at NFA, baseball and football, like my brothers and I. But I last played competitively over 3 decades ago, and I've had a lot of time in that period to really enjoy watching my children, my 3 children, excel athletically, in the arts, and academically. 2 of them are here today, my son Spencer and my daughter Skylar. And my baby's watching live stream from the University of Georgia in Athens today. So I love being your dad. I'm so glad you could all be here today. So I moved away from the Groton area after college, and I've never been a social media guy. And so when I think about high school sports and when I think about my relationships, my friendships in high school, they're 40 years old, and they're preserved just like I remember them from 40 years ago. Black and white photos and scrapbook clippings, always available and always just wonderful to relive. So thank you again to the Hall of Fame committee for including me in this. It's just so awesome to be part of the club. Thank you.
Robert Bobby Valentine. Rockstar Bobby Valentine. Class of 1988. Bobby wrestled at Fitch and lettered all 3 years. He posted a 15-7 record in his sophomore year and came in 3rd place in the state Class L tournament. As a junior, his record was 20-0. He won the Whaler tournament, won the Class L tournament, and came in 2nd in the state open. He was all ECC and all state, finishing with a record of 32-1. In his senior year, his record was 16-0 and 2 ties, which means his 2-meet record over his junior and senior year combined was 36 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. In his senior year, he was the ECC champion, the Class L champion, and due to an injury, placed 3rd in the state open. His 1988 team won the state championship by 10.5 points, the first state championship in Fitch wrestling history. For 24 years, Bobby has been a member of the Boilermakers Union Local 237. He has been involved in prison ministry for 20 years. He lives in Connecticut with his wife, Heather. Bob has 2 adult sons, Zachary and Nathaniel. A wonderful success story. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Bobby Valentine.
Thank you, everybody. I thank the committee, everyone that's here today. Go Falcons. That's Fitch Falcons. By the way, Dave Menhart's my favorite Menhart. So anyway, just a little brief that I had to write down so I don't go on rabbit trails. Bernie Nassar was my English teacher, so. But I'd like to first say thank you to my parents for putting up with me. I was a rough one. I had great memories during my 3 years of wrestling in high school. Never wrestled in my life. I picked it up, Oscar. And I'm thankful for Coach Graham. You know, he's one of us. He could relate with us. He was on our level, and I learned a lot from him. He learned patience with me, and I'm thankful for that. Coach Cosman was always drilling us because there's no shape, and no shape like wrestling shape. So he had us working, and the discipline, and just like in life, you fall down, you get back up. You just keep getting back up, and that's what we all have to do in life. Life's a struggle, but like a wrestler does, there's many around here, we keep getting back up, no matter what. And so I like to share 1 or 2 stories and get this over with before I get in trouble, as usual. I had a Vision Quest. It came out in 1985. They're called Vision Quest. And it was against a shoot that was, no one could beat him. He was undefeated. No one could touch him. And I remember going to my first scrimmage, and I wrestled Rob LaRose, which he became New England champion at 160, my senior year also. I was 52. And I remember going wrestling for the first time ever. And at that time, when you're at a scrimmage, you can get pinned 3, 4, 5 times. They let you just keep going. They just don't go, it's over. So I remember with Rob, he beat me up. And just the way my mentality, and I had the best wrestler that ever wrestled in the state of Connecticut that hasn't signed out his paperwork yet, Pete Martin. I worked with him. But through that whole year, I set a goal. My goal was, on the last day of a dual match, we wrestled NFA, and I would be going against Rob LaRose. And so in that, I trained my whole time for this one match. And my mom, my dad, my family, they knew all about it. So on that day, We were squaring up, and Rob was a bull. He was stronger as strong. And so for the first minute, I tied up with him. I felt like I was going through the mat. It's almost like, oh my Lord, have mercy. And at that moment, what has to kick in is your will. You kick in like, what did I do this for? And it gives you that extra oomph. You gotta dig deep. And me and him, we battled, we went at it, and it was 3-2 going into the third. And then all of a sudden, NFA loves cradles, but he got me in the guillotine. And as we were going there slow, I just hipped as hard as I could, hipped over. It's all about hips, baby. Hipped over, got on top of him, and with about 30 seconds left, pinned him. But that's not the end of the story. My mother jumped on the mat before the ref even raised my hand. Jumped on the mat, started hugging me, going crazy. Got kicked off the mat. We didn't lose no points. Go ahead. We didn't lose any points. We didn't lose no points. But that's how it was, you know. You get to go against something that, you know, and you just have to be determined and keep kicking, keep moving forward. And those were some great times. And like I like to say real quick, Coach, I won't say your nickname, even though they call me Robert, and my name is, I go by Bobby. But my real name's Robert, right, Alvin? But anyways, his father passed away that year. And we set a gold, and we had the toughest matches. And one of our matches was Guilford, and they beat us, like if there was a mercy rule, they beat us 50-0, they can't score no more. And they were in Class L. And that whole year we dedicated, and in that time, I remember after, I'm just gonna skip that whole part. I'm going into the team. But so in that whole time, I remember we're all of a sudden, we couldn't believe where we were at. We were actually in contention, and we were gonna beat Guilford, which no one was supposed to beat Guilford. It was like a 1980 hockey team when the USA beat the Russian. Well, maybe not that much, but it's my story, and I gotta say what I gotta say. But so I remember going up there, and then I'm gonna go through the whole team, but the first one that day was we start a course at 103, and we go up through heavyweight. And a dear friend of mine, he's my brother. I love him. I miss him. I don't want to get choked up, but Ronaldo Ramos, which I would love to nominate. He was a state champ that year along with me. His life was taken May 30th, 1993 at the age of 23, and he was special. And we ended up winning, doing the impossible, and we pulled it off. And like it says, the claim says, we were the first Fitch high school wrestling team that had ever won a state championship. I almost played baseball in '87 so I could be with Paul Menhart and say I got a baseball championship, but sorry, Hawk. After wrestling, I didn't want to do nothing. But I'd like to also, real quick, and get this over with, I just like to mention the team that represented our first team. I'd like to honor our team. The first one, of course, was Ronaldo Ramos, 103, state champ that year. The next, this little guy right here, he's a freshman. That's my brother, Todd Valentine, which was an amazing wrestler as we went on. Then we got Rich Kirby. Then we got Jay Jodwin at 125. 130, we had Kevin Rabine. 135, we had Dion DeVega. 140, we had the two Jeffs, Jeff Conklin and Jeff Christopher. 145, we had Tim Martin, which is Pete Martin's younger brother. Then we had at 160, Pat Saffa Miller. And then at 152, of course, was me. And there's Coach Graham. I look a little older than him. He wanted to let you know that he was younger looking than I was.
You can see in that picture.
And by the way, no one wanted to get close by me. You see how there's a space? He didn't like me that much. Coach dealt with me a little bit better. And I try to tell him constantly not to put that picture up. I gave him numerous pictures. And once again, he's coach. He does what he does. and I have to just take it. And after that, we got Onassis Stratzman. Then we got Hollywood, Bill Murphy. And the many nicknames I could go with, but I'll just go with his name, Brian Vanderveen. And then there are two coaches, of course, Glenn and Cosman. And so with that said, I just want to end this real quick. I woke up in the middle of the night. I do that anyways because I got to go to the bathroom usually twice a night. At 55, I never thought it was possible, but yeah. I get up. I'll get up. All right, where is it? And so what I really want to say, I don't even have to look at it. What I really want to say is me, I was, everyone could testify, I was about as troubled and wild as they come at this place. Top 5? Crazy? Yeah, maybe. But every year, since we're here, this is what I will talk about. I would come, and they used to have, in the front, they have like a little holy water. And before the season came, I would come over, and I would say, dip in, and I'd say a quick prayer, like, Lord, help me through this thing. That was part of my superstition and part of just thinking that that's what you need to do. And then, of course, all the time, Coach would before every dual meet, he would pray the Our Father. And so we would do the Our Father. And those were just words to me. But now, in my life, now being 55, I realize those words are life. And it's a blessing and an honor to live for the Lord and God I serve to this day. And I'm so thankful. So with that, glory to him. In the name of the Father, and in the Son, and the Holy Spirit, to him be the glory. And I'll say the quick prayer. O Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Amen. Thank you, guys.
By the way, it lasted about 3 weeks in my class the first time. And then his father came in and he turned out and his father felt him.
Jessica Harvey, class of 1998. Jessica played volleyball, basketball, and softball. In 1995, she won the Team Serving Award. In 1996, she won that award again, along with the Picket Fence Award and the Art Carmichael Award. She was named All-Area by the Day. In basketball, she was the team MVP in both her junior and senior year and captained the team in her senior year. In softball, she was also named MVP in her senior year, was All-ECC, and was first team All-State. She was the Booster Club Female Athlete of the Year in 1998. After high school, Jessica began her college career at UMass at Lowell, playing softball, and was named NECC Conference Rookie of the Year in 1999. She then transferred to Central Connecticut State University, majoring in health and physical education, and continued her softball career. She was named All-New England Honorable Mention, nominated to the second All-NEC and All-New England softball teams in 2002. The National Strength and Conditioning Association named her All-American, and in 2003 named her the Strength and Conditioning Athlete of the Year. Jessica captained the team in her senior year and was named the 2004 Outstanding Student Athlete. For 20 years, she worked at Mystic Pizza. For 14 years, she worked for the Norwich Public Schools as a health and PE instructor, where she organized various after-school programs and coached various sports. She presently works for ISAAC Public Charter Middle School, teaching health and physical education. She coaches cross-country and volleyball. Jessica also is a realtor with Stonington Realty. She lives in Groton with Eric Auer. They have 3 children, Luke, Mason, and Kenzie. Jessica is still active in volleyball, playing Esker Point and Sandbox Beach Volleyball. She is the 3rd member of the Harvey family to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. Brother Matt in 2015 and Father Ed in 2017. An athletic force. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Jessica Harvey.
Oh, I'm sweating. Nice bangs. I love that. Oh, God, I've got that picture. I truly grew up in a Fitch household. I went to baseball practices, football practices, games. I wore Fitch gear as a little kid. I'm really proud to be an inductee for being a Fitch Falcon. Sports was always my thing. I started off with gymnastics. I was a wild child. So my parents had to put me into something, so they threw me into gymnastics. And then from there, I started playing sports. I had a great experience in Groton Public Schools. Robin Doyle, where I don't know where you are, got me into loving volleyball. I love volleyball. She introduced it in middle school at Cutler, and then I played at Fitch. Still playing it today. I love volleyball. Fitch basketball for girls back then in the 90s was interesting. Steve Banks, amazing coach, if you know who he is. If anyone sees him, tell him I said that. Softball was great. We made the states every year. It was just a great experience playing for Fitch. I'm really honored. Thank you for putting this together. This is amazing. This is a great day. I appreciate it. Thank you to Jenna for putting in all my accolades and everything. And thank you for my family to come and visit, and not visit, but stay with me today and be there for me and support me. My parents, couldn't thank you guys enough to get me through everything in life. A million practices and games, travel basketball, travel softball. We were all over the place, giving up all your time to get me there and support me. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations to all the other inductees today. Thank you.
Will I do it again? Brandon Cook, class of 2001. Brandon played football, basketball, and lacrosse and finished his Fitch athletic career with 9 varsity letters. At the conclusion of his senior football season, he earned the team's Best Lineman Award, All-ECC First Team Offense, All-ECC First Team Defense, Hartford Courant and New Haven Register All-State First Teams. His football teams had great success on the state level. The 1998 team was the state runner-up, and the 1999 and 2000 teams were the state champions. When his football career in high school was over, the team record was 46 wins and 2 losses. Captain of the basketball team his senior year, he was named First Team All-ECC. He was also First Team All-ECC selection for the lacrosse team. Brandon attended UMass Amherst, Northwestern University, and Charter Oak State College. He was enrolled in the Connecticut Teacher Residency Program. He played football at UMass Amherst and on a team that was the Atlantic 10 champions in 2002. Right now, he is a first grade teacher in the Norwich Public School System. He resides in Groton and has a 9-year-old daughter, Zoe. A major impact player. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Brandon Cook.
Well, I'm truly honored to stand here today as an inductee into the Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame. So thank you to everyone for their consideration and in selection and organizing this event. Athletics has been such a significant part of my life, shaping not only my skills on the field or the court, but also shaping my character and shaping who I am today. When I think of my time at Fitch, my first thought is family. Whatever I may have lacked in my family at home, the teams and people involved during my high school sports career filled those gaps to help provide me with many important values a strong family has. One of those values is camaraderie. I was privileged to be able to participate among many great athletes and teams, be involved with many coaches and families during my time at Fitch. We won a lot of championships, lost some big games together, and we shared those ups and downs together just like a family. But more important than any game or championship or loss, I most fondly remember the process and my teammates and coaches involved in that process. Games are short and few, but the preparation, hard work, time invested, it's a grind. So, whether practice is where games are won and champions are made. So without each other, we couldn't have had that much success. So we did. I also appreciate being able to earn the respect of my teammates and share that with each other, just competing and practicing hard, being able to put that all together to be able to win games, winning the state championships and things like that. So, but just earning that respect meant everything to me. So I thank them for that. But there isn't much like stepping on the field when you work your butt off and you're going to go on there and make some things happen. So I really miss that about sports. The other value I think of is support. This is the value I'm probably most grateful for. I don't believe success happens in isolation. I think people need each other to be able to be successful, whether it be opportunity, guidance, or love. I'm so fortunate and blessed to have the support system that I was exposed to during my participation at Fitch Senior High School. I would not be on the stage right now or the man I am today without the support and influence of my teammates, family, and coaches. I'm going to take time right now to thank them for their role in my success. I thank Coach M and Coach Campbell for teaching me and guiding me in my football success, and also to all the other coaches that put in a lot of time, whether it be basketball, lacrosse. As you get older, you realize they sacrifice a lot of time with their families, and to give that to us to be a part of something greater than themselves is, I really appreciate it. I thank Mr. Clark and John Grossman for bringing me to and from practice just about every day for 3 years. So thank you for that, helping me get to practice. I want to thank James Childs for planting the seed that I could play at the next level, and then showing me how to work out and get ready to do so. I have to thank George Hall Sr. For telling me to be mean. Now, he didn't use those exact words. I'm going to make it G right now for the rest of the families in here, but I got the point. And also for looking out for me when I was at Northeastern with Mike. I really appreciate it. And to finish up, I want to thank my mom, Charlene, for her support and giving me her one-of-a-kind work ethic. I still use it every day. I want to thank Rachel, my daughter Zoe, for the opportunity to be a father and to be a part of, again, something greater than myself in raising Landon and Zoe. I need to thank Mark and Margaret Sullivan for getting the ball rolling with this, so I appreciate that. And then really just being kind and generous, opening up your home to myself and my daughter. Very nice of you. And then the final thanks go to the Hespeler family, who I became close. Yeah, we can give that. I became closer to them playing sports with Dan, and I know him in Little League, but not as closely. But they invited me into their home, and me and my daughter, and they treated me just like one of their own. They supported me in my growth as a human being, supported me, pushing me to finish school, to eventually become a teacher. And, I wouldn't be me without you. So I thank Mary Ellen, Ted, Dan, Teddy, Mike, James, and Tony. I love you all, and I'll forever promise that I'll always remember the rules. So thank you.
Sean Berg, class of 2003. Sean participated in soccer, basketball, and outdoor track and field. He was in track and field that he excelled, leading all 4 years, and was the captain of the teams as a senior, both indoor and outdoor. In his senior year, he was named the most valuable athlete. In outdoor track, he was Class L champion in the 110-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and the state decathlon, where he set a school record, which still stands today. At the world-recognized Lux Games, he was the pentathlon champion and was a record that stood for 20 years. In indoor track, he attained All-State, All-New England, and All-American status in the 55-meter hurdles and the long jump. Sean was also the captain of the soccer team. In his senior year, he was named first team All-ECC and selected All-Area by the Day in soccer, outdoor track, and indoor track. He was the Fitch Booster Club Male Athlete of the Year in 2003. Sean attended American Legion Boys State, was a member of the National Honor Society, played in the marching band, was a member of the orchestral and symphonic band. He wore multiple honor cords at graduation. Sean attended the University of Connecticut and majored in psychology and statistics. He excelled in both indoor and outdoor track at UConn. He had a 16-foot pole vault, a 23-foot 4-inch long jump, and scored 7,178 points in the decathlon. Sean competed on 2 Big East championship teams and had 2 individual championships in the indoor heptathlon. He currently lives in Mystic and works for General Dynamics Electric Boat in electrical design. A truly gifted athlete. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Sean Berg.
Thanks, Mike. Let me pull out my notes real quick. Good evening, everyone. I'm incredibly humbled to be standing here tonight, and I just want to take a moment to thank the people who made this possible. First, I want to thank my coaches. Your guidance, discipline, and belief in me shaped my athletic journey. You taught me not just the skills to succeed on the field, but the mindset to tackle challenges off it. And for that, I'm forever grateful. To my family and friends, thank you for cheering me on, rain or shine, through every victory and every tough loss. Your support kept me going more than you know. But above all else, I owe the deepest gratitude to my biggest supporters, my mom and my dad. You were there from the very beginning, encouraging me, pushing me to do my best, and picking me up when I stumbled. Your unwavering faith in me has been my greatest strength. And without your love, none of this would have been possible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me achieve what I never thought possible. This honor is as much yours as it is mine. Thank you.
Mark Hall, class of 2007. Mark was a 4-year letter winner in football and was the captain of the team in his senior year. He started as a freshman at defensive end at age 13 and led the team in tackles for 3 years. He was the Fitch Defensive Player of the Year in both 2005 and 2006. Mark was named All-ECC in his sophomore year, junior and senior years, and was named to the Hartford Courant All-State team as a junior and a senior. Graduating with a diploma in advanced studies, Mark earned a scholarship to Lafayette College. He earned his BA degree in political science with a focus in pre-law. He played football for Lafayette for 2 years. Mark is currently working as the New England Regional Business Director for the thank you, Immunology Division for Sanofi Specialty Care. Sanofi is considered a top 10 pharmaceutical company globally. He is a volunteer with WMWAP program in the Dorchester area of Boston, focused on helping urban youth, and lives in Walpole, Massachusetts with his wife, Chartel, and their 1.5-year-old fox red Labrador, Canaan. He is the third member of the Hall family to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, George in 2022, Michael in 2023, and now he in 2024. A tremendous role model for young people. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Famer, Mark Hall.
It's always fun being up here in front of a room full of people, right? So let me start this. Thank you for that picture, too. I don't know where you got that, but it really doesn't do me justice. No, it's nice to be here tonight and see so many familiar faces. Saw Mrs. Klonowski, Mrs. Levers. I don't think I've seen you guys in over 25 years, so it's just absolutely amazing to see this, just community here within Groton and in the Fitch community. So I want to start off by thanking my family for being here and supporting me. My wife Chartel, my mother and father, step-parents, my sister-in-laws, as well as my beautiful nieces. It's really an honor to receive this award, and I appreciate the nomination as well as selection for this year's Hall of Fame award. Just want to thank my mom, right? I feel like moms sometimes go unnoticed, right, for all the work that they do behind the scenes, running you around town to all the different practices and just keeping all your schedules straight. So thank you, Mom. My father, as you know, most people know George Hall Sr. in this room, right? So we come from a high family, football family, and I can remember when I was 8 years old and it was time for me to actually start the youth football program. I actually really didn't want to play football. I wanted to kind of ride my bikes around, just be a kid and play. And I remember the phone call when my mom said, "Mark, your dad's on the phone." He said, "You better get your butt down to this field right now." And I'm very happy that he did because, football really opened a lot of doors for me and allowed me to, kind of be where I'm at in my life now. So I appreciate you, being hard on us, keeping us straight, really, making sure that we were disciplined in the way that we approach life, and appreciate everything. I want to thank my brothers, Mike and George. They always set a really high bar, right? That I was always trying to reach, right? They set that thing extremely high, right? Their teams lost 2 football games in 4 years, which is unheard of. So appreciate everything that you guys did. John said that when he was a kid, he used to, be on the sideline just waiting for his time to put a Fitch Falcon jersey on, and I feel like that was my entire life. So whether it was, watching when these guys were in Pee-wees, getting a tooth in the back of my head because I was playing pickup football, or just kind of coming back to the sidelines in the middle of Fitch High School games, covered in mud because I was on the sidelines playing football, just waiting for my time to put that Fitch jersey on. It's extremely humbling to be here right now and be in front of everybody. And again, I really appreciate the honor of being awarded part of the Hall of Fame. So thank you, everybody, and I appreciate it.
How about 2 Hall families in Groton with 3 boys from one family and 3 boys from the other? Amazing. Kevin Carlo, class of 2009. Kevin played soccer and baseball. He earned his letter in both sports all 4 years and was captain for both teams during his senior seasons. His baseball career was special. He holds school records for hits, 120, walks, 56, doubles, 32, innings pitched, 141, second in wins, 17, second in ERA, 1.7, and second in no-hitters, 2. He was his team's MVP in both his junior and senior years. He was recognized as All-ECC and chosen for the Day All-Area Team in his sophomore year as an outfielder. During his junior year, he repeated those same recognitions as a pitcher and added Norwich Bulletin All-Area and All-State. In his senior year, he earned all the same honors and added New Haven Register All-State. Also in his senior years, he won the Raheem Carter Memorial Award, came in second place in the Gatorade Player of the Year, and was named the Fitch Booster Club Male Athlete of the Year. Kevin won academic letters in all 4 years in high school. He was a member of the National Honor Society and was Fitch's representative to CIAC CAS Scholar Athlete. Kevin attended Brown University and majored in history. He played baseball at Brown and was the captain of the baseball team in 2012 and 2013. He earned his MBA in finance at NYU. Kevin played baseball for the St. Louis Cardinals organization for 4 years. Currently is working for Cambridge Association in New York City as an investment manager. He's a member of the board of directors for the Mystic Schooners. Kevin and his wife Laura have homes in New York City and Westerly, Rhode Island, and have a 1-year-old daughter named Bennett. A storied Fitch High School athletic career. Ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Hall of Famer, Kevin Carlo.
Thank you. Thanks to the committee for the consideration. First and foremost, I want to thank my parents, Andy and Steve, who are here. They drove all three of us around for countless hours and are still doing it with their grandkids. I don't know how they do it. They were everywhere, it seemed, when we were growing up playing sports. So thank you to them. Means the world you're here today. And also to my siblings. I'm the youngest of 3, and they were both incredible athletes here at Fitch as well. So I feel like part of my success was chasing them and trying to keep up with them for my entire life. So thanks for being role models. Thank you to my wife and my daughter who aren't here, but hi to them back in New York. My teammates while I was at Fitch. I had the good fortune of playing baseball here during a pretty special time, and many of my teammates are already in the Hall of Fame. One of them's here, hey Matt. So getting to play against them in practice and with them in games is, I think part of the reason I had the success I did. I was always chasing them, and they set an example for me. And then I had the ability to play baseball for a while after Fitch and even professionally. And I think one of the biggest things looking back is 2 of the coaches I had the chance to play for here playing baseball are probably the 2 best coaches I've ever had in my career. Coach Harvey for 2 years and Coach Peluso. They taught us to play the right way and to play hard every day. And I tried to do that my whole career. So again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the committee. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Allison Allie Clark, class of 2015. Allie played soccer for 4 years, is the only female soccer player in Fitch history to earn All-State, and she did that twice. Allie holds the school record for most goals scored in a season as well as a career. 4 goals as a freshman, 7 as a sophomore, 11 goals as a junior, and 14 as a senior. She was the Day's Player of the Year in 2014, was named to the Day's All-Area Team 2012, 2013, and 2014. She led the area in scoring 3 out of her 4 years. She was named All-Area Norwich Bulletin in 2013 and 14. She was the team captain as a senior. While at Fitch, Allie was part of the group that organized the first unified basketball team. She was a member of the National Honor Society, wore honor cords for PE, art, and English at graduation. She received the Chris Saffron-Miller Scholarship, the Raheem Carter Award, CIAC Scholar Athlete Award, the PE Department Award, was named Most Athletic in the yearbook superlatives. After high school, Allie attended Southern Connecticut State University for 1 semester, Three River Community College for another semester, and finished her career at Eastern Connecticut State University, where she majored in psychology and early child education. At Eastern, she was the captain of the soccer team in her senior year and the team's leading scorer in her junior and senior year. She was named All-Little East Conference twice. Allie was on the dean's list every year in college and was the president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee and a member of the Best Buddies. Presently, she is teaching kindergarten at Oakdale Elementary School in Montville. She is head coach of the Fitch girls soccer team, and she also assists with the Southeastern Soccer Club. She resides in Waterford with her older sister Amanda and their 3 cats, Ralph, Lauren, and Nala. Allie's father, Todd Clark, was an inductee of our inaugural class in 2014. Passing on her knowledge to others, ladies and gentlemen, Fitch Athletic Hall of Famer, Allison Clark.
All right, well, hello. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm used to talking to little children, so this is a little bit intimidating, but I'm very honored to be placed with all of these extremely incredible athletes, and very thankful, too, that I get to share this honor with my father, which I think is super awesome. Thank you to my family for everything that they did for me, for driving me everywhere, the late nights, the holidays that weren't really holidays because it was soccer tournaments or we were driving everywhere. But you guys were always there, and that's kind of what made it special. And I always had someone to share it with, which was cool. Thinking back to my time at Fitch, I missed it so much. And every year when I come back to coach, I started coaching last year and this year as well, it becomes harder to coach because I just want to play so bad. I just want to get back out on the field and play. But being able to share my knowledge and the things that I learned through my soccer career with the next generation that's coming up is amazing. And that's what I will continue to do, to just try to give back and try to get some more soccer players up here with me. So thank you.
We're inducting Bernie Nasser this year as a coach.
I wanted to let everybody know that I told Bernie I was putting him on a 10-minute timer. He said he promised me it wouldn't take him that long.
Yeah, we know him too well. After coming to Fitch in 1972 and resurrecting the wrestling program, Bernie coached the team for 7 years. In addition, he was the head coach of soccer for 17 years and softball for 15 years. In wrestling, his teams won the CDC Championship in 1974-75 and the SAC Championship in 77-78. In 1975, his team was the District 3 state champions. In soccer, he has the most wins in the school history and the highest winning percentage, and his teams went as far as the semifinals in the CIAC state tournament twice. As head softball coach, his teams won 5 straight Southeastern Athletic Conference titles from 78 to 82. He finished with a record of 147 wins and 83 losses, which is the most wins for softball in the Fitch history of softball. His teams were 2-time state regional finalists and 2-time CIAC LL state semifinalists. Bernie also was the junior varsity coach for the golf team for 8 years. His 2001 golf team, JV team, went undefeated with a record of 8 wins and no losses. Bernie retired from teaching English in 2007 after a 35-and-a-half-year career. Over that span, he helped the school's athletic and academic programs anytime he could. Track official, football game announcer, class advisor, overseer of ninth grade house program, as GACA negotiator and vice president. He continues to give back in his retirement as the guiding force for the creation and the continued success of this organization, the Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame. Bernie was also inducted into the King's College PA Wall of Fame, as well as the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Bernie resides in Groton with his wife of 41 years, Ellen. They have two adult children, Bernie Jr. and Diana and Daniel, Lindsay, and they are very proud of their two grandchildren, Audrey and Aaron. Always ready and willing to help Groton youth, ladies and gentlemen, Fitch High School Athletic Hall of Fame coach, Bernie S. Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you. I did all that stuff. I had once a department head that said, Bernie Nasser, he's everywhere and he's nowhere. And I can never find him. I was doing all that stuff. Okay. First, I'd like to acknowledge my family here. Actually, all these tables here are my family. My wife, Ellen, like Mike said, of 41 years, she should be in the Hall of Fame for being married to me for 41 years. Yeah. So you call it lifetime service. My son, Bernie, Diana, my two loves of my life, Audrey and Aaron. So how did you do? My son, Daniel, Lindsay. My in-laws, John and Terry Yansky. Hi, buddy boy. Say hi. Okay, okay. Good boy. Okay. And I want to especially thank my soccer guys right over here, my wrestling guys over here, and my dear friends and colleagues over here. And one of my soccer guys got misplaced. And I had two special guys here that you will know. Don't know, but Bobby Karen, he had to go, he had another commitment, and Eddie Laura were two all-state open champions at Ledyard High School, and they've been friends of mine for 50 years. And actually, Eddie was a star at Syracuse University, and he wrestled with Olympian Gene Mills back in 1980. So I just wanted to acknowledge those guys. The committee, you guys don't know what this committee means to me.
Hey, wait a minute, softball.
I didn't get that far. I didn't get that far. Okay. When I wanted to do this 30 years ago, it never worked out. And when this guy here came from New London, I kept bugging him because I had already been retired or in the process. I said, we got to have a Hall of Fame here. I've coached thousands and thousands of athletes here, and we have some great gals and guys that have worked here, performed here, and excelled here. So he said, go ahead. So I sat down and drew up a name of about 50 different people. Coaches that I knew, colleagues, graduates, and I went to each one of them. I tried to, and I said, listen, I'm going to get this committee going. Would you be a member? So we whittled it down to like 16. And of those 16, I think 14 are left, and then we picked up 2 more a couple years later. So these guys and gals have been with us for 11 years, which is a tribute to them, and I want to thank them for all their hard work. The Fitch Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. My classmates this year, it's an honor to be here with you. Some of you I've coached, 2 of my most gifted athletes, Ricky Thompson and Sue Beeman. Outrageous athletes. My former assistant coaches, Kelly Hall, wrestling. Wait a minute, I knew I brought glasses for something. Terry Casey and Lynn Clark Kinnaman in softball. Lynn was Lou Pinella. She knew everything about baseball because she had her father, Al, and then her 2 brothers. She knew everything in baseball. And I think Sue already mentioned Terry. Soccer, Dan Lease, Glenn Graham, who played for me, wrestled for me, Todd Clark, and Andy Curtis, who both played and then ended up coaching with me. And I want to give a special recognition to Al Pila, who's unfortunately not here today because he's ill, he's under the weather. Al was my administrative soccer assistant. And I'll have you know, in all my years coaching soccer as a head coach, I never was carded. Al got the cards. So it always was good. And these guys will know, they know that. And unfortunately, Al's not doing well right now today, but I wanted to acknowledge him because we were great friends. We spent many a day with Chris and David at Boston College games, and it was a good time. So it was a great thing. Probably the most influential person in my life when I was a kid was my mother. When I was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and the King's College Wrestling Wall of Fame in 2013, I couldn't mention my mother in my speech. It was in front of 550 people. And my whole crowd, and obviously the whole crowd's all wrestlers. And my mother was just diagnosed with onset dementia, and she couldn't travel from Pennsylvania. And ultimately, 5, 6 years later, it took her, just short of her 91st birthday. But in 1962, my mother took me. I was 12. My brother was 5. My sister was 10. And we got rid of my father, and she took us on her own as a single mother when it was not heard of. And she worked as a seamstress in a dress factory. She ultimately became a floor lady. She was probably the best seamstress in northeastern Pennsylvania. She was acclaimed for some of the things she did, but she taught me how to not give up. Probably as an athlete, I couldn't get into this Hall of Fame, but I didn't quit. And in Pennsylvania, you played everything. We didn't go out for football and then whatever. And besides, when I was in football, I was 98 pounds. I made it to sophomore year. I played it, I get pictures. You can see me and this buddy of mine were the littlest guys on the team. And our football players back then were 260 pounds in Pennsylvania. These guys, I think 14 of the starting 22 went Division I. So, I mean, we had some great kids. But my mother taught me that stuff: discipline, hard work, don't give up, and always be there for your teammates, whether my sister, my brother, or whatever. So I wanted to mention her. Brief history: 71, 72, Mr. Jim Shaughnessy was assistant superintendent, came to Pennsylvania. He was recruiting teachers from there. He ultimately hired over 120 teachers from Wilkes College and King's. I was the only guy from King's. Jack Clark was already here. Jack and I go back, our same doctor delivered Jack and I. So, I mean, we go back a long way. Actually, our mothers went to high school together. So, and Jack has been a dear friend ever since. But Shaughnessy hired me to resurrect the wrestling program. We did that. Ultimately, I had ulcers at a young age, and I had to get out of it because I was a fanatic. So, next thing, Bob Weiss comes here. Baseball job opened up. I said, I got to apply for that. I was a pretty good baseball player. But some guy by the name of Harvey came along, and Bob says, you got no chance, Bernie. He says, but guess what? We had a club softball team this year, and Doyle and I think, what was her name? Jackie Lewis was PE teacher. They did the club team. He says, will you be interested in coaching softball? I said, shoot, I played fast pitch softball. I played baseball. I played Teener League. I played it. I thought I was pretty good. So he says, well, the job's yours. And, like Tammy said, what about softball? We built probably one of the strongest teams in this area. Unfortunately, we were in Double L. And at the same time, Southington had won about 100,000 games in a row. But we got very well recognized. And obviously, as Mike had said, Sue and Tammy were on the first Connecticut All-State softball team. And both of them became Division I athletes. Probably the first two female Division I athletes in school. To my recollection. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. So softball was a very rewarding experience. I think there's at least a half a dozen ladies that are in the Hall of Fame already. Donna and I talked about this, starting with Alice Hunter, Donna, a couple of other gals on that team, right through, Sue and Tammy and Joy Flatley, Renee Corey, Don Mather, all state softball players. So we were gifted. I was gifted. I got these players. All I have to do is put the ball in the field. And then finally, soccer. John Howe was the AD. He comes to me. He said, hey, listen, we've had a terrible 3-year program, and I think Mike Menhart can attest to this. I think maybe you won 3 matches in 3 years? Well, that was in your 1 year, but I think they won 3 matches in 3. So John Howe says, listen, you had some experience with Bill Schwartz when he started the team. I was his assistant. He says, do this for 1 year, and I'll get a soccer guy in here. What the hell, I'll try it. What do you say, 17 years later? When my son got to Fitch, I retired. I said, I didn't want to coach. I didn't want to. I just couldn't deal with that. So I gave it up. But we had some success. This whole table here, plus Andy, all my soccer guys. And they were pretty damn good. You can tell by some of them are in the Hall of Fame. The major coaching influence in my life, in high school, none. In wrestling, I had 3 different head coaches in 3 years. We didn't learn anything. I learned from my teammates, and we had some animals. To be a district champ in Pennsylvania was like probably a state open champion here. My coach was Ned McGinley. When I was a little boy, I used to go to Kingston High School. That's where he went, and that's where Kelly Hall went, and I'd watch Ned wrestle. And he was that big. And then when he got to Wilkes College and I was in high school, I went and watched Ned wrestle. He was still that big. However, he was an NCAA All-American, little All-American. He was a great wrestler. When I graduated high school, I went to King's College. It was Ned's first coaching job. He started the wrestling team at King's, and I was a member of his first team ever. And he and I are still best friends. Unfortunately, his wife, Mary Ellen, who was like a second mother to us, passed away this summer. He's doing well, but he's 81 years old. And we're still very best of friends. And we're both members of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is an honor to be named in the same venue with your coach. So that was a neat thing. He taught me discipline, hard work, dedication, and I heard more than one athlete said the importance of conditioning and especially teamwork. Bobby Valentine. By the way, can you imagine that guy spoke that well? I mean, that flabbergasted me. I said that to him outside. You got to be kidding me. Gee, what'd you do to him?
Turn him around.
Turn him around. You turn him upside down and bounce him on his head.
Miracles.
Wrestling was the biggest, toughest sport to be conditioning in. These guys here can tell you that. But you can ask any of my soccer players or any of my softball players who was better conditioned than we were. Nobody. No one. Finally, I want to do an acrostic of Fitch. Bobby, you know what acrostic means? Yeah, okay. Fitch, F, family, Falcons. Look around this room. This is Fitch. This is our family. These are all Falcons. That's what it's all about. You have to have faith, not only in yourself and what you do, but in your teammates. If you can't depend on your teammate in a given situation, you're done. You got to look to them to make sure you don't have to think. They got to do it. And damn, these guys and these gals did it for me and for some of the other coaches in this room, because I see some great coaches in here. Intensity. If you go on a mat, if you go on a soccer pitch, or you go on a softball field, I don't care what it is. If you're not intense, you're done. You get blown away. You have to be intelligent. Not only smart about what sport you're playing, but how to deal with your teammates, how to deal with your opponent, how to deal with referees. I had a soccer player once who wanted to go to the Army, to West Point. And one of the referees was Brigadier General Bolin, Tom Bolin. He's a scorekeeper for UConn. I think he still is. He's about 104. This kid's giving this guy, he's a referee, he's giving him crap on the field. I yanked him, I grabbed him by the neck. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "You know who he is?" "I don't care." I said, "What do you mean don't care? You want to go to West Point and you're giving a Brigadier General crap on the field?" I said, "Sit down until you realize what's going on. Sit on the bench." He learned. He never went to West Point. Along with intelligence, you got to be a genius. You know, you got to make a nice play, like wrestling. Eddie and I were talking, and Bobby, before about some of the things that they had to do. I mean, he wrestled at Syracuse. I mean, that's no slouch. He wrestled with a member of the Olympic team, Gene Mills, who probably was the best wrestler in the world, and he never got to wrestle because the Olympics were canceled. Right, Eddie? Okay, and we know Gene. Obviously, he wrestled. He butted heads every day. So ingenuity, you got to know when you got to do something. You got to do it right, and you couple that with intelligence. Oftentimes, more than not, you're going to come out on top. It's very simple. Teamwork, T. If you don't have teamwork, forget it. I don't care what you're playing. You got to work together. I mean, I've had teams who are off the field. I don't care what sport. They didn't like each other. Once they crossed that line, they went on that mat. You didn't work together. You're on the bench, and they know that. Teaching. You know, a lot of people say, well, coaching, you got into school here because you were an English teacher. Actually, that's how I got the job. I was supposed to start teaching at Westside for Bob Strauss the following September. But the English teacher that was here, Larry Delmore, some of you guys might have had him back in the day, he up and walked out of school at in the middle of January. So Jim Shaughnessy called me and said, "Listen, you're going to be the head coach of the wrestling team at the high school next year, and you're going to be at the junior high. He says, I'd rather have you at the high school. What do you think? I said, yeah, if I'm going to coach there, I'd love to, teach there. So he says, well, you want the job? I says, yeah, when do I start? Next September? He says, no, Monday. This was Tuesday, the week before. And here I was attending bar in this big nightclub in Pennsylvania, and I was substitute, all this kind of good stuff. And I said, okay, so we drove up here, did what I had to do. He says, listen, I want to push it back a week. I'll give you some time. I went home, packed my car, and came back, and I started teaching the next week. So, that's what it was all about. You learn that, okay? Tenacity came with teaching, because even in coaching, I always felt that as a coach, you were able to teach more than I could in the classroom. Granted, English was, not many athletes were English teachers. Most of them were PE teachers or history teachers when I got here. But I thought I was able to teach more on the field, on the mat, in the room, in practice, in training than I could in the classroom. And it was because of the great athletes I had. C for challenge. All of us have been faced with challenges in our life, be they good or bad. Like this morning I told you about Charlie and Keith. Charlie's got some stomach issues, but it's not so bad. He's being treated medically. Keith is in a little bit tougher situation. And he's in being medically treated, and say more than one prayer for him. Conditioning, I've mentioned more than once. I don't have to repeat it. Care. In order, like somebody said, so if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. Well, same thing with caring. If you don't care, especially as an athlete, as a teammate, if you don't care about that person, you're going nowhere. It's worthless. You got to give and take to succeed. And that's what it's all about. Same thing with this committee. We bang heads all the time. And, give everything. Glenn knows more than anybody because I'm always on him. But guess what? You, at the end, look at the production. Look at the result. H, hard work. Again, that word, work. That's what results in success. History. Well, the history of this whole Hall of Fame. A number of you people said how amazed you were. This is the biggest day we have. We sold out. You know what you guys did today? You broke the bar. They ran out of booze. No other committee, no other thing ever did that, except for that football team. Hoops' football team drank like fish that day. Synonymous with hard work is being diligent and dedicated. And I don't think I have to explain either one of those words to you people. It comes with the game. Finally, there are 165 members of the Hall of Fame now after today. 64 of them were before my time. That leaves 101. That means 27 members out of that 101 people are in the Hall of Fame. I've had the honor of coaching those 27 people in 3 different sports. So it's not me up here that should be in the Hall of Fame. They put me here. Their work and their efforts made our records, as Mike had said, what they were. And we spent a lot of hard times together, and we succeeded. That percentage makes me think, no wonder that we achieved those records. Look at the kids I coached. And the 27 in the Hall of Fame, that's one thing. What about the 2,500 that aren't in the Hall of Fame that were on my teams? Those people put it out too. They may not have been as gifted as a Menhart or a Thompson or a Beeman or a, but they put it in, and they deserve it. I want to thank everyone. I deeply appreciate everything you've done. Thank you for being here. My athletes, I love every one of you. Certainly, I love my family. They mean an awful lot to me, although sometimes they don't think so, but I've always got my mind somewhere. I'm always, even in retirement, and this thing takes up a lot of my time, and our time, and it's worth every minute. As a token or as a thank you, what the hell did they get like that? That was your wedding. That was taken at your wedding.
No, that was you.
Well,
That's you.
that's me. Yeah, that's me, Aaron.
You have a small head.
I got a small head. Just like his father. Right? There's no distinction here about whose father, whose son and grandson, is there? All right. Anyway, all this speech and stuff's neat stuff, but I banged my head. I said, you know, when this comes, this day, if it comes, I mean, because like I said, I've been fortunate enough with the other places, with the other things. I wanted to come up with something as a gift to the Hall of Fame, okay? So if Paul, Eddie, wake up, Ed, and Matt, go out. You got that? Take a minute. I'll give you a little history. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I have a copy of Ed was surprised when we talked earlier of the baseball Bible that Ed put together when he retired. And I guess Kevin was the last one. Carlo, you played for Ed, but you were drafted, right, by St. Louis? Where are you hiding? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, but anyhow, you got there. Anyway, other than that, there were 8 baseball players drafted from Fitch. What'd you bring them in here for? Go out in the hallway with them. Yeah, but that's geez, boobs. You haven't learned. Anyway, there were 8 guys from this baseball program that have been drafted. And it's interesting because Ed was a hitter. Ed was a slugger. Ed played in the College World Series, and he was renowned for his hitting ability. Well, out of those 8 guys, 6 of them are pitchers. So David Menhart could tell you, Chris Peeler could tell you, and anybody else who ever pitched a baseball, that's meatball, your meat arm, meat we call them, or rag arm, that's the word, excuse me. Well, Eddie had 8 guys drafted, 2 before his time, but that's a lot of players, and they were pitchers. And one of the unique things about Little Fitch High School, we had 3 guys play in the major leagues. And what I did in my deep thinking here is that I'm going to get a hold of Paul Menhart, who's been like a little brother. They all have. They're with me all the time. When Paul was coaching with the Nationals, I was down there every year going to spring training games. Never paid for a game. Great. Matt Harvey, you know what he's done, World Series. Paul actually won the World Series as the pitching coach for the Washington Nationals. And then you have Jesse Hahn, who wanted to be here today. He was with the Dodger organization all year. Excuse me. He was with the Dodger organization all year, and right towards the end, because he was in what they call the stage development program, they released him. Seattle Mariners picked him right up, signed him to a minor league contract. Then he got an invitation to try out for the United States World Baseball Team. So he said, Bern, he said, if I can make it, I will. He says, but if I get that invitation, I think I'm going. He says, I'll be almost 40 years old by the time the Olympics come around, but he says, I got to give it a shot. I says, damn well better. So what I did is I pulled those 3 guys together. Now they can come in.
Oh, yeah. Come on in.
My gift in conjunction with Matt, Jesse, and Paul is to present Fitch High School with their jerseys, which will be framed and hung in the gymnasium. Autographs for $15 a piece. Oh, up? Oh, I'm sorry. Paul's got to get back to Georgia. $25. Gentlemen, thank you. This is when you coach the All-Star game? Yeah. This is when the Nationals, after they won the World Series, they went to the All-Star game, coaches, and my wife stole the other one.
No, it was given to
Thank you. Oh, it was given to her. Well, okay, Paul gave her a jersey. What happened to the other one? Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry to take, I didn't take that long, but anyway.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Whatever. I need that bag. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it.